Hey y'all, welcome to day 11 of Vlogmas. As you can see, my kitchen is a complete and total disaster. I realized halfway through the day that I didn't have anything ready for supper, so I am pressure cooking some frozen meat right now, and then we're just going to have some boxed couscous and some frozen green beans and call it a day. And tomorrow night, my husband has a work event, so I need to get off work early to come home, walk our dog Max, pick my kids up from daycare, get them supper quickly, and then go and support him at his work event. So I'm also meal prepping for tomorrow night's supper so that I actually don't have to cook and won't have to take off work quite so early. So I have a quiche in the oven. I didn't film that because I've done that before. That's old news. So while that's cooking, I'm going to clean up the kitchen. And I have a work party tomorrow, so I would really like to be able to bake some cookies. There's a recipe I've been wanting to try, so I'd like to be able to get that done, and we will see how it goes and how much time I have. So first things first, I need to clean up the kitchen so I actually have space to work. All right, so quick clean is done. Now I'm going to move y'all over and I think we can get started on doing the cookies. These are cookies that you have to mix together and then let it sit in the fridge for an hour and then finish them later on and bake them. So we'll see how that goes. Hold on, let me move you guys though. Okay, y'all, I think I have everything out that I need. I'm a little bit bummed. I was going to use our stand mixer for this to make it a little bit easier, but I can't find the proper attachment for it. So we're going to use my hand mixer, which I'm a little bit bummed about, but that's okay. We're still going to do it. All right, so to start off, we're going to do 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And this is a recipe from Sally's Baking Recipes, or sorry, the website is called Sally's Baking Addiction, but this is, I guess, a subset of that website, Sally's Baking Recipes. And they're called Seriously Soft Molasses Cookies. So I will link those down below so that you can see what I'm following. But it's 2 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. So we're gonna use some from the bag here. We'll see exactly how much of a mess I can make doing this. All right, I changed my mind. We're going to use it out of here because that's way too hard to scoop. Just want to level this off so it's not packed in there a ton. Oops. I'm very messy when I bake. Two-ish. And then 1/4 cup. That's probably about it. All right. So that's it for the flour. Perfect. Then we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. Baking soda. One. A half. And then we need 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. Sorry, I keep reaching for stuff behind me. I'll try to put stuff over here. Let's see. Here's ground ginger. One, 2. We need 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. One. Half. And then we need this. Nope, I do need to take it off. All right, y'all, so I actually had some ground cloves at home, but I couldn't get the container open. It's one of these, and these are not great. These are good over here, but These that are just sticking on the side of the fridge are not great. They the lids are really difficult to turn and to get off. How on earth am I supposed to get in there? Let me see. I'll try to completely slice open my finger with a butter knife while I'm doing this. There it goes. Ooh, I love cloves. They always smell so good. All right, how much was I supposed to get? 1/4 teaspoon. Make sure I'm doing the correct one. Here's 1/4 teaspoon. Then 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. This one I was able to get off, but you can see I didn't put it back on all the way. That's nutmeg. Oh, and I just put it on all the way, which I'm gonna regret later. Oh well, we're done with it for today. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. All right, and then we're going to mix all of these up. I'm not going to use the mixer because it's just going to go everywhere. Since I thought I was using the stand mixer, I knew I was going to have this bowl to mix the flour in, so I put my medium bowl in the dishwasher, the green one. I'm sure you saw me do that just a couple minutes ago. And now I have to use the small bowl for the dry ingredients, so I don't want them to fly everywhere by using the mixer. All right, that's probably okay because we're gonna mix it again anyway. All right, let's get some stuff out of the way. We still need our sugars. All right, so next we are going to take 3/4 cup of butter softened to room temperature. This has been sitting out for a while. Oh, I do need the knife anyway. So 3/4 cup is 1.5 sticks. Pause. That's the quiche that I'm meal prepping for tomorrow, so I need to go ahead and take the lid off of that. I actually realized I didn't have any aluminum foil, so where's my hot mitt? We'll go ahead and take that off so that it can finish baking. Safety first, guys. All right, I've got that started again. So where were we? We were with the butter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, about halfway. And actually, I'm going to cut it up in a little bit smaller chunks since we're going to be mixing it. Just makes it a little bit easier for the mixer to handle. All right, and this needs to be cleaned, so I'll put that in our butter holder after I've cleaned it. I forgot to do that when I was washing the dishes. And y'all, I don't know if my head is in the frame or not. Maybe not. If it is, this ear feels like so on fire red because it is so hot in here with the oven going and with the pressure cooker going. And me standing right in front of it in sweats. It's actually, gosh, it's upper 60s today and rainy here. So it feels much warmer in the house than it has been. You can see all my veins, very attractive. All right. Oh, I actually have my trash bin over here. All right. So that's in there. And then we need, oh, I hate these ads. They keep refreshing. Half a cup of packed brown sugar. So this is the bag where I keep my open bagged sugars in. Right. And my half cup is, measuring cup is all bent up, so I am going to use the quarter cup one instead to measure it out. So if you see me putting 2 scoops in here, it's because it's a quarter cup, not a half cup. Get in there. There's a half cup of brown sugar. Back in the bag you go. And then we need a quarter cup of granulated sugar. What is it with lids in me today? Oh my goodness. Maybe I'm just that tired that my grip strength is non-existent today. All right. Okay, and then, so we're going to beat this together. I'm going to go ahead and measure out my molasses though, because we're going to add it next. And I did pre-open this because I thought it would be super hard to open. I'm going to go ahead and measure that out, and it's 1/3 of a cup. And I've heard, like with honey and molasses, if you spray the cup first, then you don't have to deal with the pain of like really trying to get the full amount out into your baking. So we're going to give that a go. All right, should probably get a paper towel or something to wipe the molasses with. Hold on. There we go. All right, go ahead and pour this in, just so it's ready for me. All right, that looks good. All right, wipe that off. And oof, I didn't do it quick enough. That or I over poured. Get that up before it gets too terribly sticky. All right. Oh, it's already sticky. Too late. All right, I'm just gonna set that over here. We'll make a mess everywhere with it. All right, put my egg in there to kind of protect it a little bit. And I'm gonna plug this guy in and scoot this over here a little bit farther away from my laptop. All right, these guys in, yes. Okay, here we go. Try to make this quieter in the editing. I'm just going to scrape down the sides a little bit here. All right, just a little bit more, and then I think we'll be good. All right, I think that's about as creamy as it's going to get with a hand mixer with not the correct attachments. So let me just check the directions here. All right, next it's saying to add the molasses and then add the egg and the vanilla extract. So we will do that. Let's see. So we have molasses. It worked a little bit. I think maybe I let it set in there for too long. All right, I'll go ahead and put that in the sink. Right, and mix that in. Good color. All right, starting to get kind of that gingerbready color. Let's do the egg. And it does say a room temperature egg, so this one has been sitting out. And vanilla. Guess I forgot to get that out. It's right here. Need 2 teaspoons. One. Usually with vanilla, I don't measure it, but since this is a new recipe, I want to make sure I'm getting the right-ish amount. All right, let's get that mixed up, and then we'll be able to start adding our dry ingredients. All right, I'm gonna scrape that down again. I'm choosing to think of this as a gingerbread color and not what else it reminds me of. And just double check because I am paranoid. All right, we slowly add this, and then we're going to cover it and put it in the fridge to chill for at least an hour. And it says you can chill this for up to 2 to 3 days. So we will be doing an hour probably. We'll see. We'll see what time it is when I get done. All right. So sorry the back of the bowl is going to be to you, but that's just how my hands work. All right, that looks pretty well mixed to me. So let's go ahead and unplug this. Oh, perfect timing with the quiche too. Let me check on that real quick. Look at that. All right, so I'm actually going to turn off the oven so that it cools down, because that had to be at 400 and this needs to be at 350, and it still has to chill anyway, so I'm not leaving my oven on for that long. All right, I'm going to scrape this down, get the beaters out, and cover it up and put it in the fridge. Feels like quite a heavy dough, like most cookies are. There's this book. It's called The Little Blue Train. It's a kid's book, and both my kids love it. And I can't remember what I just said, but one of the books is about learning what the animals sound like, because the little blue truck like lives in a farm or farmland and has all of his friends are the farm animals. So I think it's by Alice Shirtle, I think it's the author. Anyhow, he's, going down the road, driving down the road and saying hi to all of his friends. And the book keeps asking, Little Blue Truck says beep, beep. And it asks, does sheep say beep, beep like Little Blue? No, sheep say bah, as all sheeps do. And what I just said, it was that same kind of phrasing. Anyhow, more randomness, sorry. My brain is very much like that, where it's just constantly going off on tangent. Makes it difficult to concentrate sometimes. Also, why does my brain keep that kind of stuff in my head and not like the information about why I walked into a room in my head? I feel like that would be more useful information to have rather than, memorizing children's books, which, not gonna lie, that is useful, especially on long road trips when the kids are starting to melt down a little bit. Just putting these in the sink. So not totally useless, I guess. This is also my least favorite part about using a mixer. It's cleaning off these darn beaters. All right, good enough. All right, and I actually realized when I was making the quiche that I do not have tin foil, and we never keep plastic wrap here, so I'm going to grab one of our beeswax wraps that I hope are clean and up here. Not big enough. Where's the big one? There we go. Yes. Ooh, sorry, that's probably loud. There we go. These are great. They're like reusable wraps, and you just have to kind of hold it with your hand, and your hand heats them up. And luckily my hands are very warm right now, so it's heating up and sealing nicely. But it's also good for this sort of thing because plastic wrap doesn't really stick well to plastic bowls. All right, so this is probably something that I'm going to have to come back tonight after the kids are in bed to finish up. Looking at the time. So I will see you then. All right, bye. And we're back here. This is after my kids are asleep, so if you notice me moving quite slowly and trying to set things down gingerly, it's because I was trying not to wake them up. We very rarely do things in our kitchen after the kids are in bed, just for fear of waking them up. All right, so I have a tablespoon measure, and we are scooping up a tablespoon of dough, and then we're supposed to roll that into a ball and then roll that in just some regular granulated sugar. And the recipe warned that this dough was going to be sticky, and it is very sticky. As you can see, I am struggling here. It's getting all over my hands. I'm struggling to get it out of the tablespoon. And I'm just going to plop it in this bowl and roll it around and put it on these cookie sheets. And my oven is being preheated at 350 degrees. So I sped the rest of this way up because it's just me doing the same thing over and over again. And it took me quite a while because I was struggling with how sticky the dough was. But one thing I will say is, in hindsight, these cookies taste delicious. But I think since it took me so long to roll them into balls, that they probably should have gone back in the refrigerator. So we had chilled the dough. You have to chill it for at least an hour, or you can leave it in 2 to 3 days. But then I had to bring it back up to room temperature a little bit. I think they say if it's over 2 to 3 hours, then leave it on the counter for a half hour before doing this. So I think the dough, since it just took me too long, got too warm, and they really flattened out in the oven way too quickly. So they still taste fine, but they are very flat and kind of unattractive looking for the most part. So I fill up these 2 cookie sheets that are behind me now. And then after I put those in the oven, I cut this footage because it was just more of the same, but I rolled the rest of the dough into balls. And I actually put those in a little bowl and put them back in the refrigerator so that they would get a little bit cooler. And that made the last sheet of cookies turn out much better. I still think they could have gone back into the fridge for a little bit longer, but that's okay. After I get done doing all of this, I do show you what the cookies look like, and those cookies are the last sheet of cookies that I did. So even on that sheet, they look pretty flat, but the other ones were even flatter than that. And here I'm just also catching up watching my YouTube stuff that I have missed just from being busy. This is a little bit of me time doing some just manual labor here. I feel like there was something else I was going to say. This is like my second or third time attempting this voiceover because I knew going into it that I was going to say the word balls a lot, and I was trying to think of sentence structures that would make that less problematic, and I just ended up cracking myself up each time. So here I'm off camera washing my hands just so I don't get sticky dough all over my oven and everywhere. But we're getting towards the end of the video here, so if you like this kind of content, this bake with me content, like seeing other people struggle and make fun of themselves for it, this channel's for you. So go ahead and subscribe and like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like the video, that's fine too. You don't have to like it. But I am trying to grow my channel. I am doing Vlogmas this year, and I'll have more Vlogmas coming every day until Christmas. So I think this is probably the last baking one that I will have, but I'll have some other stuff coming up. So make sure you subscribe if you don't want to miss that. And here I am just checking the time. Like, gosh, I don't even remember. I'm so tired. How long do these go in for? And normally I just use my microwave timer because it's a little bit simpler to set up, but I'm going to use my watch because it'll just vibrate and that won't wake up my kids as much as a loud beeping microwave will be. So there I'm showing you, look, I did it. 11 minutes. So here you can kind of see how much they spread, and these cookies have been sitting on the sheet for about 5 minutes. They're a little bit too fragile right when they come out of the oven, so you need to let them cool so that they can set a little bit so you can lift them up. And yes, I realize that this is not a spatula I'm using. This is in fact a cheese slicer. However, our spatula has been broken for a while, and then the other day it accidentally got burnt, and we just figured, you know what, it's time to toss this. And we put a spatula on our Christmas list, so maybe Santa will bring us a new spatula this year. All right, y'all, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching to the end, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.